Good. Let's wait for this to start. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It seems to be going. Let's see. It is going. Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining another Taiji Qigong Shibashi Set 3 live session. Today's movement will be looking at movement number 15, open and clear the channels or the meridians as it's more known sometimes. Who's there? Hi Alex, welcome. And so we'll be doing an interesting movement, a little similar to number 6, pointing the needle at the bottom of the sea, except that instead of going above, we'll be going through as we do this. So, let's get going. In today's movement, the idea is to let the qi flow through the body, through the feet, out into the earth, allowing it to transform and then gathering again from the sky and letting it pass. So there is a similarities to the previous one, which we rise up, connect to the sky, and then let sink through the body, under the feet, and behind. But in the case of today, we want the qi from the body to sink down into the earth, to transform, and then come back into the environment so that we can grab it again and pass it through. So it's a bit more, it's still a movement that goes from the yang of the body down towards the yin of the earth's yin being attracting the yang downward. But we're allowing the qi then to transform through the earth so that it goes back into the environment and create a bit of that cycle. Versus what we do in movement 6, where we have more of a above the head and out. This one we want it to go through the body, down the feet, and into the ground. So let's get going. Feet parallel, taking a moment to rock ourselves front and back, left and right, to slowly find our central spots. Right hand will rise next to the shoulder in front, and we'll gently shift our weight onto the right leg, just so that we can come and sit, putting all the weight on the right, freeing our left leg. And we're more or less looking at 45 degrees so that we can be seated on our leg and relaxed. From here, we'll have the gentle push through the body, through the front leg, towards the toes, into the ground, and releasing, letting the qi go as our hand come back up, connecting with the sky, allowing it to fill, to start to go down through the body while the other side is filling up, pushing it through, allowing the qi to go down through the leg, into the ground, and out. Inhaling as we shift from one side, exhaling as we're pushing the qi through the body, down the foot, into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Here, make sure that on your supportive leg, the knees stay aligned with your toes, that your knee is not collapsing inward. So adjust the height at which you're able to bend your knee based on the strength of your leg. If you're able to go a little lower, the two details, you don't want the knee to go further than the toes, and you don't want the knee to fall either inside or outside. You want to make sure that it stays nice and aligned, which will allow you to push more freely the chi in the empty leg. Up. Inhale. Gathering the chi from the environment. Exhale, pushing it through the body, down towards the empty leg. Rising, inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. So as soon as my front foot comes back and I touch the ground, this is when I start my inhale, feeling this extension through the body, but both up towards the sky and deeper into the ground as I'm shifting weight. Allowing the hand to rise and sink simultaneously. And on the exhale, the deeper sinking through the body, through the extended leg, into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. And one more to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Good. So as we're pushing through, let's see, how am I going to show this to the camera? This way. So as I'm coming through here, starting from just above the shoulders, I'm basically gathering the chi from the environment, connecting it through the shoulder well, the opening that's in between the collarbone, the upper trapezius, the neck, and the tip of the shoulder. And I'm allowing the chi to sink through the torso, passing through the organs, into the lower abdomen, into the pelvis, through my empty leg, and pushing down with the fingers pointing towards the ground so I can lead the chi through the leg and into the ground. So here, pushing through, out, and once I feel it go into the ground, I release it from the guidance of the hand and allow it to leave and go. And it's almost like if it, my hand is not attached to it, still kind of guide it from a distance through the earth until I go back up and reach into the sky, where this hand coming down, allow the energy from the sky to kind of fill up. And then at the same time, there's this rising on the other side that allow my other arm to come up and push. So there's this balance movement. If I remember well, we did that with movement number 6 to kind of feel this pressure changes between the left and right, moving from one side to the other. So let's redo a variation of this exercise again, and then we'll compare also movement number 6, pointing the needle at the bottom of the C, and this one, so that you guys can really feel the difference in the sensation of chi compared to two. Even though they look similar, they're very different as far as the effect and the sensation that they bring. So first, let's massage Lao Gong. Open up the palm a little bit. The point at the center of the palm. Channels come from the chest down the arm towards the palm. So we'll just gently massage, push towards the fingers, and release. Simply to open up the palm so we get the sensation more present. Let's use there. Good. Up. And do the same on the other side. From the center of the palm, we press gently to reach the sponginess layer under the skin. Gently push with our thumb towards the tip of the fingers and then release so that the fluids can flow all the way. And we just repeat these 3 steps. Push or press, push towards the finger and release. Press, push, release. That we start to feel the movement from the forearm, the arm, the shoulder, the torso, all the way from the chest, maybe even from the feet, up into the body, down the shoulder, the arm, all the way to the palm. Bring the palms together, facing each other. Feeling the ball between the palm becoming more dense as we inhale. And getting a bit closer together on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. And try to start to feel not only the sensation between your palm, but also between the forearms. Because when your hands are getting closer together, the feeling of thickness or bounciness between the palm, and also trying to feel it between your forearms. Feel the expansion pushing your arms apart, not only the palms, but also the forearm. Maybe if you're more sensitive, even through the elbows and the arm. We'll take a few more breaths to give you the time to feel the sensation becoming stronger and stronger. You can close your eyes for this part of the exercise if it helps develop a stronger sensation. Now we're going to move gently from one side to the other, feeling as if here my right hand is the one pushing and my left hand is being pushed by the pressure being moved between the 2 arms. Doing the same thing, left to right, right to left. So right now we're doing this just between the arms in front of the body. We're going to bring our hands more in between, or putting our body in between our arms, and try to see if we can feel from this light pressure that the effect can be perceived from one side to the other. Feeling the lightness on one side, the heaviness on the other, and as we're shifting, feeling how the heavy side become lights and vice versa. Building this coordination between left and right through the sensation, not from just an arm movement perspective, but really feeling that one side is pressing down while the other one is being pushed away. You can use a little bit of weight shift if that makes it easier. Up, shifting towards one side, and then the other. Allowing the wave to become stronger and stronger, allowing the arm to rise higher with each motion. Up. I'm going to step back a little bit so you can see my feet. And from here, as we're shifting our weight to the right, above our right hand is coming up, lifting the left side, pushing through the body as we're going down. Inhale. Now here, feel this thickness from your palm facing outward, and feel how as your arm is starting to come down, it affects the left arm on the other side. And as you're pushing here, basically your whole body starts to shift weight as well, as the other arms start to be lifted more and more, gathering, and then pushing through, up, above, feeling the chi, feeling the pressure, shifting the weight, rising onto the other side. And by keeping the arm on the side, it gives us a bit more of a connection with the earth, more solidity. So as I'm pushing through, I'm kind of compressing with both hands so that the chi really focus into the extended leg and down into the ground. Inhaling, shifting on both sides, up. Exhale, sinking through the torso, through the body, the hip, and the extended leg. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Inhaling. Exhale. In. Out. So here my fingers are relaxed. They're close together, but they're not tight. And as I'm reaching over the shoulders, my fingers join together to really have this piercing palm kind of idea, pushing through towards the foot, towards the ground, and kind of leading the way, almost like if I had just one finger pointing, but pointing the way with all of the fingers together into the ground. Here the hand relax to reach out and absorb the chi from the sky, allowing it to sink through the body to fill us up, to move the bubble on the other side. And here becoming more yang to lead the yang downward through the legs into the ground and feeling this penetrating intention going under the foot into the earth and then releasing it. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Let's do one more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Up. In. Out. Good. Excellent. So, let me know how you guys are feeling about this one. See if you can feel this downward movement through the legs, the draining of the channel out. For those of you who are more familiar with the channels and the points, we're basically connecting the yang channel through the movement to bring the chi downward, and as we're stepping, the yin channel again are rising, allowing us to connect more with heaven. But the sinking within this movement is really the more active part. We're flowing through particularly the stomach channel, but also the gallbladder and the bladder channel that are following through, so we can release any tension from the chest, from the organs, down the legs and into the ground. Easier to feel in the hands than the legs. Yes, hands are usually easier at first, and then gradually the legs will open up as well. Very calming movement. Yes, very good to sink, to release any excess, particularly also in the head, because we open up through the neck and the shoulders. Whenever the chi is a little bit more stuck in the head, it helps to kind of bring it down, which is slightly different. The other one we did at number 6 helped to release from above, especially when the area around the neck is a little too tight and we can't get the chi through the body. We can just get the excess, particularly because the pointing the needle at the bottom of the C is more helpful for liver gallbladder, which has a tendency to rise quite intensely. So when the rising of the chi is too intense, you just take it from above and bring it down directly. Where here we're working more with the stomach, the digestive tract, so we want the energy to flow the right direction downward smoothly until it exits. Just did the shoulder well class yesterday from a few weeks ago, months. Good. That was perfect prep for today. Indeed, allowing this opening makes it easier. Feeling the release after doing some repetitions. Good. Yes, sometimes we need to repeat also a movement. Typically for personal practice, 6 to 8 repetition on a daily basis is good. It gets us enough repetition to start to get the chi flowing, and because we're doing the whole series or a group of movement all together, the way Taiji Qigong Shibashi as a system is designed, there's a lot of loop where we redo the same thing slightly differently, so that by the end of the form, all of the channels have been activated, the qi is flowing everywhere, we connected to the earth, connected to heaven, allows the qi to flow and to slowly remove the stagnation. When we're practicing one particular movement, and especially if we want to do this for a therapeutic use, which for therapeutic use, you should be followed by somebody who understands Chinese medicine and understands medical Qigong that can supervise you as you're doing it and change the exercise prescription according to how your health is changing. But when we go into prescription exercise, we usually look at anywhere between 20, 25 to 100 repetitions of a single movement during the day, because we're going to touch a particular system that's a little more gunky, that doesn't work as well, that usually might have more stagnation or not as much energy flowing through it. So we need to pass a number of times over and over so that we really start to clean it up. It's a little bit like if you're cleaning up your driveway using water, which is not the best idea to do, but if you're starting to spray a little bit of water on something and it starts to erode bit by bit as you're spraying it, you need to pass over the same area a number of times so that the pressure can start to remove the dirt or the stagnation that's there. It's the same within our body. At first, and especially in the case of therapeutic use, because the patient doesn't have that much qi in their body, we need to repeat a number of times the movement until the energy really starts to clear up and until the person really builds their qi. Once you've been practicing for a number of years, the quality and the quantity of the qi is much stronger. Therefore, just doing a few passages every day is enough to maintain everything open. Actually, even from a beginner's perspective, if you're healthy, doing just a few repetitions of each movement is enough to maintain everything functioning and to kind of remove the daily gunk that we all accumulate in our life. So let's compare a little bit the two movements together to have a better idea of what we're doing here. So as I was explaining, from here, opening through the shoulder well, allowing the qi to really sink from the sky through the body, filling up the torso, and allowing the sinking through the leg, down the foot, into the ground. So my movement is really to grab a little bit from outside. For those of you who did set 2 with me, there's also a variation here that's very similar where we go with both hands. So we're basically doing the same family of movement where we gather from a little bit more from the sky here. In set 2, we really just kind of grabbed from the environment, fill it up, and move it down from one side and then the other. Where here we have a bit more of that grabbing of the qi from heaven, sinking it through the body while the energy of the earth is rising on the other side, and then focusing everything specifically on one leg to open it and allow this downward movement to happen. And what we did earlier, as I was explaining earlier in the form, movement number 6, we have the same prep where we connect to heaven and earth, allow the qi to fill in, but this time our arm extend above the head and we'll almost like a fisherman fishing rod, throwing away far in front of us. Our fingers are in the sword finger hand, throwing or allowing the qi to expand forward as it lands in front of our foot, keeping the body and the spine erect, sitting onto the hips, rolling forward while making sure we don't collapse the back, and allowing the qi to move down. So as I'm doing this, of course, there's also part of the qi through me that's going down and allow it to move, but the main accent is outward. So when I come back here, I have more of that rising through the body, which is more intense, and then allowing the surplus to come out and down from one side, up, and the other. So this is movement number 6, pointing the needle at the bottom of the seat. If you haven't followed this class, you can find it on the channel and get all the details for this particular movement. So feeling how here the rising allow the chi to go up and then out and down. One more time. Up, out, and down. Versus going back into movement 15. Here, allowing my arm to gather the chi over the shoulder, through the torso, down the leg, and out into the ground and into space. Inhale, exhale. Up. Most of the structure through the body is the same between both, but the change in the circulation of the chi, or the change within the emphasis where we allow the chi to move, makes a really big difference. This one does have much more calming effect, whereas if I go back into number 6, there's much more of that rising, energizing, and deeper, intense sinking happening in this one. Up. And if I go back into 15, sinking through the body has more of that calming effect, going deeper into the ground, and more of a rooting. More typical of the earth movement of energy versus the wood, which rise, go above the head, and then can become a lot more pointy. Up. And one more, number 15. Down through the body into the ground. Well, let's do this combination one more time because it feels good. Inhale, allowing the chi to rise, pointing in front of the foot deep into the earth. Up and out. And again, number 15, sinking through the body, down the leg, and out. Inhale, out. Up. Coming back to the center, taking a little pause. Staying in Wuji and enjoying the movement of Qi through your body. And gently rubbing the palms together. Good. How was that? It should have been an interesting play for you guys. Let me know. If you're watching this on the replay, then just leave me your comment in the comment section just below so I can know how you're feeling, or if you have any questions, I'll be happy to reply as soon as I can afterwards. So let's see. Are my live students enjoying this little part of the class? While you write this down, I'll just grab a little bit of water because I'm getting thirsty from talking so much. So, let's see. And you're also allowed to take a sip of your own water. No questions, no comments. Oh, there they are. Nice contrast between 6 and 15. Very enjoyable to experience the difference between the two. Great. Enjoyed it. Excellent. So Alex is asking, is number 6 a little harder versus 15 a little softer? The sensation will definitely be different. Number 6 does have a more rising, more yang. So if you're familiar with the notion of the 5 movement of qi, the wuxing, the wood is, well, just that example of what plants are doing. They start from a little seed, they start to grow, they grow up. They have this strength to push through the dirt and start rising. So we have this strength coming from the liver rising up, and then a bit more very pointy, precise, penetrating, as the wood image is really that of piercing through and moving forward. So through this, we have this pointiness, this yang, the energy become more and more yang. Whereas here, as we allow the sinking, we allow this gathering of everything. The earth is kind of making the link through everything. We're helping out more the stomach and the digestive. So this gathering also allows us to become, how to say, a bit more heavier, a bit more dense, gathering the qi all together and allowing it to flow down in its yang gathering towards the yin movement, if that makes sense. So yes, there is a difference between the feeling. It can be explained. Soft and hard is open to interpretation. I would say it's a lighter, more condensed versus a more heavier and kind of expanding feeling, if I can put it this way. Feeling good. Excellent. Remarkable. Two so similar movements with so different effects. Yes, indeed. And that's really the point I wanted to put forward while doing these two exercises side by side, because it's easy when we just look at them to think that they're pretty much doing the same thing, where in reality, the effects are very different. A small detail between going from up and out versus through the body and down changes the quality of it. And that's where learning this system from Professor Lin really made a huge difference for me in my understanding of it, because of being able to feel these quality and then being able to share it with you guys as well. If we just watch the movement from the outside, and if we have the preconceived idea that they're basically doing the same, it's easy to trick ourselves as we're doing it not to feel those differences and not to ever realize that there is a difference, or to modify them because we think it's the same, so it should be something different. In reality, as we start to feel the movement of qi through the body because of how we do it, then the quality of each really becomes more palpable and changes so much in us. Good. Any question on this so far other than these connection regarding the movement? I think I did it sideways, so you guys should have a good visual idea. It's not very difficult. They're principle that we've seen, making sure that we shift the weight. So our feet, as we're standing, remain, let's see, yeah, you guys can see my feet. Our feet remain facing forward. So as I'm shifting my weight, naturally I'll have just a bit of an angle through my hips so that I can sit comfortably. So that's why my foot comes open at an angle to the side. That's because I'm sitting on my leg. If I try to keep my hips forward and come and sit here, it starts to create tension through the hip joint. There's naturally a bit of uncomfortable. That's why usually when we have a forward-facing stance, the back foot will open up at an angle so we can have this same comfortable position, which is basically the same position if my foot is facing the camera, and then my body is here, versus if my body is facing the camera, then my foot would be on that angle. So because I'm here, as I shift my weight with my foot face forward, my body will be sitting onto the side, which is why my other leg extends at an angle. This notion of harmony within the structure helps us understand why the movements are done a certain way also. It's not that useful when we just learn the movement to do them yourself, but since a few of you are already registered for the teacher training, I'm kind of giving you a little bit more information regarding this, and we'll go a lot deeper into these understanding during this training. Yes, like the cloud hands and the fisherman casting its nest. The similarities can be very easily missed, or I should say the difference can be easily missed because they look so similar, where in reality, the energetic effects makes a difference. That's also why it's important, if you really want to understand Taiji Qigong Shibashi, to follow the way the movements were demonstrated by Professor Lin, because they were selected to be done in this particular way specifically for the energetic effect that they create in the body, and not for a choreography perspective. So cloud hands, for example, in set 1, which is one of the most common movement to all of the Taiji Chuan form, every teacher almost use it slightly differently. Even within, for example, the Yang style, there'll be a lot of different hand position and ways people are doing it. The question is, why are we doing it in a specific way? Taiji Qigong Shibashi, we have a particular movement of energy that we're looking for, which can only happen if we use this particular hand shape. And if I'm changing this and still claiming to do the same, well, that's not the same. We're not doing the same thing. The movement of energy through the body will be different. So understanding how the physical movement helps to lead the qi in a particular way is very important. So let's do all of our form up until number 15 to finish the class altogether. Feet parallel, knees slightly bent, rocking ourselves front, back, left, right to find that sweet spot in between the feet where we can align the top of our head, keeping the knees just a little bit bent, the hips sitting on our legs, almost like if we're sitting at the edge of a bench, allowing our arms to naturally hang on the side, letting the shoulder blades sink in the back to pull the shoulders open up the armpits like if we had a little egg under, not because we're opening the armpits, but simply because we allow the structure to sink the shoulder blade to open up, and that allow the flow of qi to really comes from the torso down the arms, hence that sensation that there's a bigger opening through the armpit. Same opening happening at the sacroiliac joint, allowing the sacrum to be free to move, just like the weight at the end of a pendulum, and to ripple through the spine all the way up to the top of the head. And on the exhale, feeling this slight relaxation, this condensing effect through the body, the energy coming back into the lower dantian. The inhale compressing, allowing the fluids to rise and being absorbed through the chest as we inhale, all the way up to the head and above. And on the exhale, the sinking, the heaviness, the returning of these fluids, creating a heavier sensation inside the lower abdomen. Up and down, and feeling the downward heaviness reaching all the way to the feet and deeper into the ground. bringing our hands together, interlacing the fingers so that the palm face up, keeping the legs almost straight as you can without creating tension in your lower back, allowing for the softness of the sacroiliac joints, the rippling of the spine to happen. Then inhaling, allowing the hand to rise, leading the chi all the way above the head, connecting the back of the hand with the top of the head if you can, all the way up, keeping the shoulder blades sunk, the shoulders relaxed, the upper trapezius relaxed, and then turning the palm back down, bringing the chi back down into the lower dantian on the exhale. Inhale, feeling the scooping from under the feet, rising through the legs into the perineum, and then the scooping of the sacrum at the same time, rising the chi through the spine, connecting through the sinking of the shoulder blades, stretching through the arm above the head to the palm and up, turning the palm down, allowing the sinking of the chi from heaven to penetrate through the top of the head, going down through the center of the body, through the front line of the body, into the lower dantian, through the quad, through the legs, down into the ground, grasping the ground again, pulling it up, connecting to heaven, turning it back down, exhale, letting it sink without effort. So everything I just rambled about should happen naturally. Don't try to force it. If it's not there yet, it will develop by simply repeating the movement and being relaxed as you're doing it. The less you try, the more your body will be able to do. The more you try to do something, the less you're able to do everything. So bit by bit, by relaxing, by allowing your body to find and to follow its best movement possible, everything else will start to develop as well. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Expanding the chest. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. Opening the middle dantian as we inhale, feeling the expansion from the chest, moving the arm. And exhale, releasing any tension from the center of the chest out. One more. Up. Stepping forward, inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Lotus flower blooming, feet together. Inhale as we rise up, piercing into the sky. Exhale, gathering the yang qi from the sky through the body, all the way deep into the bone marrow. Inhale. Up. Exhale. In. Out. One more. Exhale. Downward. Up. Looking at the setting sun. Inhale. Connecting through heaven in the center. Exhale. Shifting the weight. Sinking the qi down and connecting to the sun to bring it into the kidneys. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more each side. Number 6, pointing the needle at the bottom of the sea, allowing the qi to rise all the way up above the head and guiding it back down into the earth. Inhale. And sink. Exhale. In. Out. Up. In. Out. In. Out. In. Let's do one more each side. Exhale. Opening heaven and earth. Inhale. Exhale. In. Up. Out. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Punching with inner strength. Inhale. Exhale. In. out, in, out. And one more each side. Inhale, exhale. Pressing the hips. Inhale, exhale. In, out. In, out. In, out. One more. Inhale, exhale. Opening the wings to fly away. Inhale, exhale. To the left. Inhale, exhale. Center. Inhale, exhale. To the right. Inhale, exhale. Center. Inhale, exhale. And one more to the left. Inhale, exhale. Gathering the ball. Wild horses, heart's mane. Exhale, opening through the wrist, through the forearm, and out. Gathering the ball. Inhale. Stepping out. Exhale, expanding the chi laterally. Connecting through the back foot. Inhale. Exhale. In, out, up, in, out, in, one more time, exhale. Bring the palm facing forward. Inhale, gathering the chi into the lower dantian. Exhale, stretching through the spine, sinking the shoulder blade and pushing forwards. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. Fingers together, pointing up, relaxing the palm, absorbing the chi as you inhale. Bringing the fingers together, pushing with the palm. One more, inhale. Exhale. Lao Gong above each other. You can cross at the thumb if you want. Slightly higher on our legs. Inhale, rotating up. Exhale, coming down. So going up on your right as you inhale. Going down the left as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In, and out. In, out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands on both sides. Inhale up, connecting to heaven. Step with the left. Exhale down, under the feet and behind. Inhale. Step with the right. Exhale, under the feet and behind. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. One more each side. In. Out. In. Out. As I'm stepping back, my left hand rises above my head. Inhale, gathering the chi over the shoulder. Exhale through the body, down the leg, into the ground. Inhale, shifting weight. Exhale, sinking through the body, down the leg, into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. And just to finish up, we'll use the last movement of set 2. Inhale up. Bring the hands facing down. Exhale, allowing the chi to start to regulate its circulation through the body. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the awareness towards the feet, deep into the ground. Good. Gently rubbing the palms together. Excellent. How are you guys feeling? Hope everybody's doing well. Ooh, already an hour, 5 minutes. Good. Excellent. I'm happy it was a good practice for you, Deirdre. My pleasure. Fantastic. Good. All right. Well, again, Thank you everyone for joining, for being there. If you're watching the video in replay, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling, if you enjoy this. If you watch it all the way here, I'm guessing you probably did, so thank you. Great. And for those of you who are in the teacher training who start this weekend, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. We'll have a lot of fun and go a lot deeper into all those little details that make the system so lively and interesting. And for the rest of you, I'll be seeing you on Monday for another class. 15, 16, 17, 18. 3 more movements before we finish this set. If you guys have any idea of what we should do next as far as continuing the live classes, let me know. I'll be interested to get your ideas. I already have a few ideas in the back of my head, but let's see what you guys and ladies in the community actually have in mind so that we can continue with these classes. Great. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Ciao.